Hey guys, so I just got done seeing Predator Badlands in the theaters, and it was an experience to say the least. I'm very conflicted about how I feel about it because, on one hand, I think like the stuff with at the actual Badlands. In particular, like the creatures that they created for the planet. It's called Gehenna. That's not really a spoiler. It's something that's revealed like in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I think that stuff is pretty cool. And I like that they they made the Predator basically almost the main character of the story, which is, something that they don't usually do. Excuse me. In the Predator, you know, this the and at least this time with the naming, it's actually easy to distinguish what sequel this is. But in the Predator from 2018, we got to hear the Predators talk a little bit more in their native language. But in this movie, we get basically like the Predator doing like, excuse me, all of that, like talking like all the time, and it's pretty neat. I think that obviously it makes more sense that they went with the decision to make or to have the predator, the hunter, be an unblooded hunter, unblooded yacha, meaning that he doesn't have his stripes, he doesn't have his first big kill. I really couldn't have cared so much about like the family issues that they created for the yacha in question, because I feel like if you're a fan of the franchise, you don't need the family drama to get you invested in why a predator's doing the hunting. You just say, hey, this is your target. You go get him. It was an interesting choice to not have any true human characters. I say that in quote unquotes because what happens is that, and this is a minor spoiler, but there are all of the human characters are synthetics. They're Weyland-Yutani synthetics. So that was an interesting choice. I think it makes them kind of look dumb the way they aren't prepared to, the way they have all this tech and everything. And especially at the very end of the movie, they look really, really dumb, that they're outwitted by the predator. I'm not going to spoil how or what, but it really almost borderlines in comical, especially considering that the predator in this movie, he's stripped of basically his entire arsenal the entire movie, which I did not like. I know that you have to make the predator fight from the ground under if you're going to make him the main character, but I think you have a balancing act you can do where you can include some of his predator technology and you can still make him think on the fly, and like have him stripped of some of the technology, like the plasma caster, never uses it. The wrist blades and the combi stick, they're barely used. The smart disc, that cool thing that the predator can throw and like do with his computer wrist blade or his like computer console, it's changed into like a different version of it. And like they give him a sword, which, why would you change what we know about the predators for the sake of giving us something that's easier to identify? I don't get it. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, but it's a different clan, so it might be like a clan specific weapon. It's not really something that they mention, but okay, fine. I'll give you that one. They also give him a bow that he never gets to use, which I was like, why? Why would you show us the bow if he's never ever going to use it in the film? Again, if it's a clan specific weapon, whoopity-doo. I don't care if he doesn't get to use it. He also doesn't cloak. The Predator does not cloak in this movie at all. And in part because he doesn't have his mask. But that's kind of a big thing for the Predators. They have with their masks. It's like only one of their most iconic character features in addition to the dreads and the mandibles. And there's a little too much comic relief for my liking. Like they add like basically almost like the little Yoda, baby Yoda character in the Mandalorian. They basically try to add their own version of that in this movie, and I thought it was cute at first, and it had its moments, but it just kind of was like, this doesn't need to be here. And I will say that the interactions between the actual Predator and the main human synthetic, or the human synthetic character, it's endearing and charming in its own way. I did find the synthetic character. Her name is Thea, to be a little bit on the annoying side after a while, but it's not awful. I feel very mixed about it. It was better than I expected. I actually was kind of fearing disaster because of what little I saw in the trailers. I don't usually watch the trailers, and when I did watch, I watched like the first minute to kind of gauge what I was going to be seeing going in, and I was not impressed. I was hopeful that it would be better than what I saw, and it was, but it doesn't come close, not even remotely close, to the first or the second Predator movie. Doesn't even come close to Predators from 2010 or even Prey. I do feel that Prey is, well, I enjoyed it a lot, and I like, kind of like the idea behind it. I do feel that it has become a little bit overrated with a little bit of recency bias. I even liked The Predator to a certain degree, a little bit more than this, because I feel like the Predators are at their best when they're hunting the humans, and the humans are trying to find ways to fight back. There are some decent little callbacks to the original Predator movie, with the Predator himself, like lighting a fire and then standing in front of an explosion to draw his prey in, like Arnold Schwarzenegger did in the first movie, which is kind of neat. And there's also a kind of sort of power loader mech fight in the movie. I'm not going to say when it happens, but that was kind of cool. So if you ever wanted to, see that in like, an Alien / Predator movie, then you kind of get to see it, a little bit. It's a little bit cooler than, well, I wouldn't say it's a little bit cooler than the original, than Aliens, but it's still a nice little nod. But the last thing that I'll say is that kind of disappointed me was they sequel baited. They they sequel baited. I won't explain what happens at the end of the movie, although I will say that the Predator, we almost, and this is why the sequel hook bait actually kind of annoys me. We almost got our first ever female Predator on screen. And if you know anything about the Yacha lore, the female Predators, the female Yacha, are supposed to be way, way tougher than the men. It's actually a matriarchal society in many ways. Like, it's kind of funny because you see all the Predator, like all the things that the Predators do, and you think, oh, it's probably just a society driven on machismo, when in reality, it's the women who kind of run the show, and we've never seen one on screen. And I hope that when they do finally put a female Yautja on screen, it's actually in like a series of badass action sequences. It's not just like as a secondary character or as a plot device. So yeah, Predator Badlands. I guess I could say the movie was about the length that it should have been. It was like an hour and 47 minutes. It's not awful. I do feel like the audio mixing too, and maybe this was just the theater, the audio mixing for the sound, especially in the beginning, was a little much. Like the noise of the music was actually overwhelming the Yacha dialogue to the point where it was distracting. It got better as the film went on, but that was kind of an odd thing that I noticed in the very beginning of the film. kind of took me out of the opening segment. And it takes about a good 10 minutes too, by the way, before they actually drop the title card, which I find kind of weird because nothing really happens to make it to warrant like waiting 10 minutes to drop the title card. But that's just a small little nitpick. I hope you guys enjoy this little thought on Predator Badlands. If you guys we're looking forward to me live streaming stuff on my Twitch or putting stuff on my YouTube. That's not going to be the case for a little while. I'm going on vacation soon. So I will see you guys in a couple of weeks after this video is uploaded to YouTube. So it's good. Final thoughts, Predator Badlands. Good if you enjoy Predator. It's good enough if you enjoy the Predator, the Yautja lore and the films. It's not the best of them all, and I don't think that it's going to age to be this great masterpiece either, like the older films, but it's far from trash. It's above average good. I mean, like 7 out of 10 if I gotta give it an arbitrary rating number. I don't know. I was left a little disappointed, but I was also left a lot, kind of sort of relieved because a lot of my fears were kind of, were dissuaded. So, yeah, that's all for me. Until next time, everybody.